Thank you, Chairman Durbin, Ranking Member Graham, Senators Klobuchar and Lee, and members of the committee. It is an honor to be here today to lend the American Antitrust Institute's perspective to the issue of competition in live entertainment. AAI applauds Senate lawmakers for turning their attention to a serious competition issue that hurts concertgoers, artists, and smaller competitors across the live entertainment industry. There are a few major points and policy recommendations that I would like to highlight today. First, Live Nation Ticketmaster is an example of, on one hand, a very traditional monopoly in the mode of Standard Oil, and on the other, a 21st century digital player, like other online platforms, dominating an ever-widening swath of its industry. Its dominance in markets up and down the live entertainment supply chain creates the incentive and the ability to limit competition to protect its market position. On the concert side, this includes excluding smaller or independent concert promoters and venues. In digital ticketing, this includes excluding ticket resellers and brokers who provide important competition via the secondary ticketing market. Customers pay the price for these monopolistic acts with higher ticket prices and fees, lower quality, less choice, and less innovation. Artists who lack the blockbuster power of a Swift or a Springsteen lose out. Smaller rivals in the supply chain also lose out. Second, we should learn from the failure of the conduct remedies that were a condition of the DOJ's clearance of the 2010 merger of Live Nation and Ticketmaster. A lengthy DOJ investigation concluded in 2020 that Live Nation Ticketmaster repeatedly violated the requirements of the consent decree. Unfortunately, rather than seeking an effective structural remedy, DOJ simply amended some of the language in the consent decree and extended the decree for another 5.5 years. The amended decree did nothing to change Live Nation Ticketmaster's anti-competitive incentives. This current DOJ has recognized the ineffectiveness of behavioral remedies that run counter to a company's incentives. DOJ should pursue new enforcement action to obtain effective structural relief. This could be through a consummated merger challenge under Section 7 of the Clayton Act or a monopolization case under Section 2 of the Sherman Act. Separating ticketing from promotion and venues would eliminate the incentives to stifle competition. And reducing the market share of Ticketmaster through spin-offs would address Ticketmaster's incentives to limit competition in secondary ticketing. Protecting consumers, artists, and smaller rivals from Live Nation Ticketmaster's harmful conduct will require multiple policy tools, including strong antitrust enforcement against Live Nation Ticketmaster and legislative action. AAI urges enforcers and lawmakers to consider 3 major features of a multi-pronged approach to the Live Nation Ticketmaster monopoly problem. First, consider standards that enable the agencies to challenge vertical mergers as effectively as horizontal mergers. The incipiency standard in Section 7 of the Clayton Act is designed to prevent all mergers that may enhance market power and lead to anti-competitive effects. We currently have a structural presumption for horizontal mergers. We badly need a presumption for vertical mergers, either through legislative action or new antitrust guidelines that get adopted by the courts. Second, support more vigorous antitrust enforcement with legislation designed to strengthen and clarify the U.S. antitrust laws. Senator Klobuchar's proposed Competition and Antitrust Law Enforcement Reform Act is a leading example. The bill would, among other things, update legal standards for mergers and strengthen the standard for prohibiting exclusionary conduct by dominant firms. Such reforms would reduce the formidable burdens on the government for bringing monopolization and merger cases. Finally, consider the merits of an oversight regime to facilitate access to and transparency in ticketing. Dominant digital platforms can engage in practices designed to self-preference, such as steering music fans to Ticketmaster's proprietary ticketing services. Solutions to these problems may well require establishing rules of the road or codes of conduct for digital ticketing platforms. Such legislation has been proposed at both the state and federal level. Thank you for the opportunity to testify today, and I look forward to your questions.
Thank you very much. And last but not least is Clyde Lawrence of the band Lawrence. And I will say, looking at your testimony ahead of time,